Now to the shocking new gambling scandal rocking the NBA. Today, the FBI unsealing 2 indictments in a mafia-linked sports betting and illegal poker operation involving current and former NBA players. The first indictment targets Miami Heat player Terry Rozier and former player and coach Damon Jones. They're accused of using insider information to place massive winning bets worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Second targets Portland Trail Blazers head coach and Hall of Famer Chauncey Billups. He's accused of rigging illegal poker games in coordination with the mafia, 5 families, to cheat people out of millions. All 3 were arrested this morning, amongst 30 others.
The fraud is mind-boggling.
The defendants in this case orchestrated a scheme to use wireless cheating technology to run rigged poker games. They used off-the-shelf shuffling machines that had been secretly altered in order to read the cards in the deck, a poker chip tray that secretly reads cards using a hidden camera, special contact lenses or eyeglasses that could read pre-marked cards, and an X-ray table.
Players and associates allegedly used inside information to manipulate prop bets. In total, losses exceeded $7 million.
Let's not, mince words. This is the insider trading saga for the NBA.
Joining me now to discuss is Justin Tinsley, ESPN senior sports reporter and senior culture writer with ANDSCAPE. Justin, what in the Ocean's 12 is going on here? When I heard about X-ray glasses and hidden tables and Chauncey Billups, just briefly explain the difference between what Chauncey Billups, the current coach of the Portland Trail Blazers, what he's accused of compared to, say, Damon Jones or Tony Rozier.
I'm already annoyed because you took my Oceans reference away from me already, but it's actually applicable. Like when you hear terms like the mafia and counting cards and X-rays and all, organized crime, my initial reaction is this is where the breadcrumbs have been leading to for quite some time. When you talk about Chauncey Billups, when you talk about Damon Jones, or when you talk about Terry Rozier, you have to look at the entire spectrum of everything. Sports betting is as old as sports itself. And the thing about betting is it's not really an issue until it becomes one. And now for the NBA, it certainly feels like it is one now. And for a league that's dealing with the blowback of the Kawhi Leonard, Los Angeles Clippers and aspiration situation, this can't be ideal, especially with the season already tipping off. And when you look at somebody like a Chauncey Billups, he's a head coach of a team who literally just coached last night. And you look at Terry Rozier and Damon Jones, each situation is different, but it all boils back down into the same thing that the NBA is dreading right now. It's just like sports gambling and guys that are actively involved in the leagues. That's what you don't want, and that you don't even want the insinuation of that right now. And that's what the NBA has.
So, Justin, just so we're clear, it's not like you said, gambling is not new, right? Michael Jordan was famous for gambling. You've got young men in their early 20s on planes for hours on end. They gamble all the time. That's not new. What has the impact of legalizing gambling and things like prop bets had on taking us to where we are now?
So when you look at things like prop bets, and you look at things like Michael Porter Jr.'s brother, Jonte Porter, you have players who have insider information in terms of like what is my line going to be for this game, and you can share that with people as you choose, and of course that's illegal. And when you look at these situations, it can influence the outcome of games, or it can at least influence the outcome of betting lines, and that can lead to hundreds of thousands, and in some cases millions of dollars. So there's a lot on the line. It's not just saying like, oh, this guy's going to get 6 to 8 points a game, he's going to get 4 to 5 rebounds a game. No, you're dealing with a lot of money on the line, and we know how big sports betting in America is, and it's only going to become. So this is actually a huge issue. It really doesn't matter who the name is involved. The names are the sexy part of it, but the actual actions involved of it, that's the crux of the matter.
And Justin, this is where I want people to understand why this matters to the public as a whole. If you look at any team, again, we'll look at, say, Portland, every single NBA arena, every single NBA place is partially subsidized by local taxpayers. So if you are a local taxpayer and there's an arena in your city and you find out that players or coaches of your team have been rigging games, you are robbing the people. Is there a possibility that taxpayers could end up suing NBA franchises or players or owners because they feel that they've been cheated by this gambling scandal?
Look, I'm not a legal expert in that sense, but it makes a lot. It makes a lot of sense when you break it down like that. Look, sports betting brings in so much money. I mean, good grief, it brings in so much money, and it's great for leagues for the most part. Not just the NBA. We're talking about all sports leagues. But now comes the larger conversations that have been had since day one, when legalized gambling has become a real thing. Like, how much money is good money, and how do we regulate this so it doesn't jeopardize the integrity of the sport? And to your point, like, how do we regulate this in terms so the fans don't feel like they're getting cheated out of their hard-earned money? And that's the billion-dollar question and questions that, honestly, I don't think the NBA, I don't think anybody, and myself included, has the answer for right now.
Justin Tinsley, thank you so much. We're definitely going to keep following this story. Thanks so much for joining us this evening.